Good afternoon, I'm Isaiah Jacob. Novak Djokovic was able to outlast Jannik Sinner in a 5-set thriller at the Australian Open this morning. With the win, Novak will have a chance to play for an unprecedented 25th Grand Slam title, waiting for him in the final, Carlos Alcaraz. Tonight, the Jackets take on the Chicago Blackhawks at 8:30. The CBJ have won 7 of their last 8. Pre-game coverage begins right here on The Fan at 7:30. The Cavs in action tonight out in Phoenix, taking on the Suns at 9 p.m. Cleveland will be without Darius Garland, Evan Mobley, and Max Strus, and for the Suns, no Devin Booker. Some reports coming out this morning indicate the Cavs and Lakers are in active trade discussion. The deal, DeAndre Hunter to Los Angeles for Rui Hachimura and rookie Dalton Knecht, likely needing a third team involved for salary matching. Tomorrow, Ohio State hoops travel to Wisconsin to play at 2 p.m. Breaking sports news when it happens on The Fan, Ohio sports destination.
It's time to add some spice to your nooner. Nooner funny. This is the place where big-time guests, bold opinions, and little cute doggies come together. This is Rothman and Ice.
Sponsored by Pella Columbus, the #1 rated windows and doors in Columbus.
So where's the office, back at Division? Yeah, in the office, baby. Going up.
All right, that'll warm you up. Going into the weekend, Rothman and Ice, happy to have you aboard. Big show today. We'll get to that menu in a moment. I'm Anthony Rothman. The man to my right is Matty Ice Hazen, the loose cannon behind the glass. Boys, how we feeling?
Feeling good, man. We made it to another Friday, made it to another weekend. And so, yeah, I got nothing to complain about. I'm happy that the beard is still here. You're rocking the flannel today, which is really nice. So you're giving off Paul Bunyan vibes. Like that's what I'm looking at here, and I'm here for it.
Throw it in the towel.
I like that, man.
That's it.
That's a nice
Lazy,
flannel, though.
No shave, just nothing.
Just keep it going.
Just bundle up. Like I said, I mean, let's hibernate a little bit. Yeah. I mean, you and I are kind of in a little downgraded into a bunker here. No windows. It's like Vegas without the gambling.
Keyword was downgraded.
You know, we used to be on a 3rd story with a bay window and a courtyard and all sorts of things to distract us. Now it's good, like lock in, blinders on. Big show today, 12:30, bottom of the hour. We will visit with the man who pushed the button, Don Waddell, the GM of the Blue Jackets. He got the bump that he wanted, the bump he needed. How long will this go? And basically his mindset now as this team tries to navigate their way into hanging in a playoff conversation. Because I just checked Las Vegas, and I remember at training camp when I had Don on, and I said, so what do you think of your point projection by Las Vegas? Mm-hmm. He said, I don't know what that is. You're going to be the first to tell me. I said, with trying to console him a little bit, I said, they think you're an 84.5-point hockey team. And he goes, all right. Thanks for telling me that. Almost like it served as motivation. And then we know what happened in the first half. And I just checked today. Okay. And Las Vegas says they are an 89.5-point team. So probably not enough to get you in. But is it enough to keep him in the buying mode? And that's what's going to happen over the next 9 games, which will be, I believe, 4 before the break and 5 after the break before the trade deadline. So can't wait to talk to him bottom of the hour.
Yeah, that'll be fun, man. That'll really be fun. You mentioned the Rick Bonus bump. It's been bumps for everybody going around, keeping everybody energized over there at Nationwide. So that's been great to see. And this heater that they're on has been really fun. And I can't wait to ask him about his perspective on the goaltending situation and whether or not that was something he was looking for when he made the change. Did he want to see more of Elvis? Did he want to see maybe a little less of Jet? I don't know, but it's working right now. So, yeah, we got a lot to unpack with the Big Don at the bottom of the hour. So that'll be a nice little conversation on a Freaky Friday.
The Big Don sub. Sam Bruckhouse, 130 Sumer Sports, our football analyst. We've had him on many times, and we'll analyze certainly guys at the... Were they at the Senior Bowl?
The Senior Bowl down in, I think, in Mobile, Alabama.
Right.
So, yeah, that's been
Mobile.
That's been a nice little thing for guys that can level up prior to the draft, right? Like outside of the combine, that thing has really taken off. I think it's the Reese's Senior Bowl down there. I think Reese sponsors that thing. And no, so for a long time, you can go back and look at guys that have participated in those practices and look at guys that have participated in the game and had an opportunity to really shine a light on them outside of what they did at their university. So it would definitely be great to pick his brain on what he saw down there, and then some NFL stuff as well as we're getting ready for the Super Bowl.
Jake Burns, our friend from Browns Film Breakdown at 2:30. We'll get him on the latest hire, the coaching matchup. There's nothing on Jim Schwartz right now.
It's quiet, huh?
Should I stay or should I go?
He's just
play
in the wind.
song. Like, I really don't know.
Well, I think we know what he wants to do. I think he wants to go. His bags are packed. And when we talked to Shefty on Wednesday and we asked him about the contract part of it and how you get out of something like that, because he's got a year left on his deal, Shefty he was waffling a little bit. He didn't really know. And he said he thinks he's going to get his agent involved. And so I would be surprised if they let him out of the contract just based off of all the information we have about how dug in, I guess it seemed, that the owner, Jimmy Haslam, was in keeping Jim Schwartz. And so it's going to be a one and done if he's there. And so you're going to be circling back around and having to find a new defensive coordinator. But I'm sure Todd Monken would love to have Jim Schwartz there. And obviously we know Myles Garrett wants him to stick around because he was throwing out, cryptic IG messages yesterday. And so, yeah, it's an unfortunate thing for the Browns. And I was talking to a Browns fans yesterday, and they were just like, man, we can just never be happy. We can just never be happy. There's always something around the corner.
You mean it's
that's going to disappoint us? You mean
it's almost like they're churning out sadness?
Yes.
Is that what you're trying to say?
Factory of sadness.
Okay, So they're a little slow, but they got it. Yeah.
But they got it. Yeah.
Right.
And so, we got some new stuff to get into with Monken in our next segment. But, yeah, I'm with you, AR. It's going to be very interesting to see the decision that is made around Jim Schwartz, whether he's going to be in or whether he's going to be out. I'm leaning out, even though I don't know how he's going to be able to pull that off.
It can only be repaired if he wants it to be repaired. If he feels like he acted on emotion, he's human, thought he was the best man for the job, thought he's been running the best unit on the team, that you brought me in and you hired me, and I'm probably the best guy you've hired in a few years, and I'm the one that's been the glue to keeping whatever together. Now, he could come off of that and say that it was emotional, and I really did want the job, but my heart is in the success of this team, and I will work with the new head coach. And I don't know, give me more money or whatever, or they just say, we loved you. That's why we hired him, because we love you running the defense, and we think that you'd work really well with him, and he wants to work with you. That was my guess, is that they hired Monken because they felt like he wouldn't say, well, I need to bring in my own defensive coordinator.
And I can't wait to hear Monken's press conference about obviously a few things with the quarterback stuff, but would he have brought in his own defensive coordinator?
They're too busy. There won't be a presser. They got other pressing things to do. What if they just said, hey,
we're good.
He's hit the ground running. We'll do a few one-on-ones every now and then. There'll be no Q&A.
My guess is it'll be sometime next week, I would think.
Well, you may have hit on something that just hit me, which is they almost need to know about Jim first before they roll him out there. Mm-hmm. Because I don't think you want to roll him out for a Q&A with all the balls in the air. Like, I just don't think
that makes sense. You don't want that.
No, you want to have a good faith.
Right.
We're all moving forward together, or they've made a decision and then those answers will already be out there. Like, that's to me, because if you go into that with all sorts of vagueness about him, then how do you even struggle through that press conference?
There's bad juju around the press conference if this is still hovering over the team right now. So the silence for me right now from Jim Schwartz is deafening. And I think he's behind the scenes talking to his agent or whatever, talking to the league, however this works, figuring out how can I get to Team X or whoever that may be in his mind. Because I think, like you pointed out, he feels so wronged by this team because of the work that he put in, and he felt like it was his time again to be a head coach, and he interviewed a couple times for it. And so when you take a couple laps around the interview track, if you will, you start in your mind thinking, okay, I'm a finalist. This is going to be it for me. This Shieldhouse guy, he's a kid. He's not getting it over me, and he didn't. But then they bring in another Unk, and I understand what they tried to do.
Monk.
I really do understand what they tried to do. Because if Jim Schwartz was on board, then you got two crafty vets running the show for your team.
So how do you get him on board while he's being interviewed? How do you say, okay, you're a legitimate candidate. We're considering other people. You know that. We want to pick your brain a little bit. If we did decide to go another direction, how committed will you be? Now, maybe Jim could answer that this way. Well, it's hard for me to know who I will vibe with, who you're going to be bringing in. Yeah. But could they have, because it sounds to me like they were blindsided because they chose to believe that it was what I thought, which was faulty thinking, which was that as long as we clear it with the new head coach, that you'll keep him, everything will be fine.
Yeah.
How do you pick his brain during the interview process? I'm talking about Schwartz. On if we don't give you the job.
It's a great question. I wonder if that even comes up.
Yeah.
And I don't think it should.
It probably didn't.
Right.
Because there's no way this reaction could have happened.
And I also think when you get egos involved like this, and I know we were reacting yesterday to the Emmanuel Ocho and Shador thing, which was just a crazy take from him. But when you are Jim Schwartz, Todd Monken isn't this slam dunk, you know what I mean, guy with this tremendous resume that's coming in and got the head coaching gig over you. And so maybe that's some of this is baked into that as well, where he's looking at Todd and he probably respects what he is as a coach. But it isn't like a Belichick coming in, or heck, even maybe Mike McCarthy coming to Cleveland where you're like, okay, I'll tip the cap to that guy. I understand he won a Super Bowl, yada, yada, yada. Todd Monken doesn't have that. So maybe that's part of it too.
All right, well, we'll be talking to Jake Burns about this at 2:30. And when we come back, there is news up there in Cleveland. They have a new OC, and how did he connect with his quarterback, that new head coach, and all that? And maybe, Maddie, the one detail that everyone wanted to hear but didn't about this new hire. Rothman Ice on the Fan.
Let's see. High school, Buckeyes, Browns, kids in the retention pond. It must be Football Friday.
Sponsored by Tansky Sawmill Toyota.
Football is good. The Fan.
Hey there, friends. High Bank isn't just award-winning whiskey. They also make the best vodka in America. With 3 Central Ohio locations serving scratch-made food and craft cocktails, High Bank is perfect for date night, game day, or drinks with friends. Learn more at highbankco.com. Dine, drink, distill at High Bank.
Steve here from USA Insulation. Let me ask you a question. Do you know why your thermos keeps your coffee hot? Because it's insulated with foam. So let us do the same thing and insulate your home with our premium foam for only $99 a month, interest-free. The cold weather's here. There's nothing better than sitting in a warm, comfortable home with your loved ones and keeping that cold, drafty air outside. So make the call today, 529-2440, 529-2440, or usainsulation.net.
USA Insulation.
Chronic pain can feel like it's never going to end. But at QC Kinetics here in Columbus, there is a new treatment providing rapid relief. It's called stem wave therapy.
It has fundamentally changed the way I look at cases after 30 years in practice. So when we talk about regenerative medicine, we're talking about these types of devices.
Dr. Tony DeCesaro, one of the nation's authorities on stem wave therapy.
So basically, it's a healing machine. They cause the body to help to heal by increasing blood flow.
This is more than treatment. It's hope.
So this device being a healing device, when I talk to my patients about it, I tell them it's diagnostic and therapeutic. We're going to find out today if it's right for you.
Right now, you can try your first treatment for just $49 and see if stem wave is the right option for you. Only $49, with many patients reporting relief within the next day.
It's about giving hope.
QC Kinetics. Harness the power of stem wave and get relief now. Call for your consultation here in Columbus. 380-208-4544. 380-208-4544. That's 380-208-4544.
Just announced. Get 0% financing for up to 60 months on new 2026 Tucsons. Only at Great Lakes Hyundai, Columbus, or Dublin, or glakeshyundai.com. On SEN, SEL trims with approved credit in
GLakesHyundai.com. At Babs R Us, we believe home improvement is life improvement. As the Midwest's fastest growing 5-star bathroom remodeler, we're more than just transformations. We're a community driven by a mission to bring your dreams to life. Our installation team, part of the Babs R Us community, isn't just skilled. They're dedicated to respecting your home. Each day, they bring craftsmanship and hustle, turning your dream space, no matter the size, into reality. Together, we embrace a culture that values diversity, collaboration, and giving back. From supporting local projects to fostering a workplace where every voice is valued, Babs Baths R Us is more than a company. It's a community of experts. We're also expanding locations to create more possibilities for homeowners across the Midwest. Wherever you are, you'll find us ready to turn your dreams into something you can see, feel, and enjoy every day. Right now, get $1,500 off a shower or tub replacement, or $3,000 off a full bathroom remodel. Plus, low to no monthly payments. Call 380-225-BATH to schedule your free estimate, or go to bathsrus.com. Baths R Us, where dreams soak in.
All your favorite and least favorite fan shows are available wherever you get your podcasts. Just type in 971 The Fan to the search bar and hit that subscribe button. It's free.
We're the land of the free and the home of the sunburnt, freckled fat guy.
Do it now.
Hello, it's John Kozik, founder and president of TurboTrack Realty, and I buy real estate as is fast for cash. Give us a call today for an all-cash offer at 614-470-2000, 614-470-2000. I buy vacant properties, inherited homes, divorce situations, death in the family. I even buy my tenants won't pay me the rent houses. Give us a call today for an all-cash offer at 614-470-2000, 614-470-2000.
And now, Public Education Matters with Ohio Education Association President Jeff Wensing.
Hungry students can't focus on learning in our classrooms. Ensuring students are fed is just as important as ensuring students have notebooks and pencils. Please stand with us to make sure all students can get the nutritious meals they need. Together, we can build a future where every child is fed, focused, and free to learn.
Public Education Matters, brought to you by the Ohio Education Association.
Fan weather.
From the Logan AC and Heat Services Weather Center.
We'll see a mix of clouds and sunshine here for your Friday as temperatures only warm up into the teens here for this afternoon. Winds will be out of the northeast at 5 to 10 miles per hour. And as we head into the weekend, we are still tracking the very cold temperatures with highs only in the teens to near 20 here for Saturday and Sunday. However, we are looking ahead to a nice little warm up here as we get into next week. And that's a look at your 10 weather impact forecast. I'm meteorologist Aaron White here on 97.1 The Fan.
Bet365, the official online sports book of Rothman Ice. Whatever the moment, it's never ordinary at Bet365. The Fan, Ohio sports destination.
What's up, knuckleheads? You're listening to Rothman and Ice on The Fan. It's not terrible.
All right, so the Browns make a hire. Monken makes a hire. And his name is Travis Switzer. So what is the one question, the one detail that could have given this the tiebreaker of credibility? What did we all ask this morning?
Is he related?
Is he related to Barry?
Yes.
Right? Because everybody, that's the second I heard this name, because this is not a household name. He was a run coordinator for you guys, and the only thing we needed to worry about there was who's running the football. His name is Derrick Henry. You and I could coordinate that.
Well,
snap it and hand it to him. I'm kidding, but
kind of.
So when we were asking this morning, is he related to Barry? And I say this, and I'm being really honest.
Yeah,
I think if he was, I think it would add a tinge of, oh, let's see how this plays out.
A little bit more juice to it.
And the fact that it didn't,
right?
It's not a horrible knock on him. It's kind of like I was getting the, hey, is the OC for Indiana, Shanahan, he's related to
Kyle and Mike?
No, he's not really.
I know.
He still won the Natty. Still a great offense. It's almost like this morning when I heard he wasn't related to Barry, it was like, okay, that kind of deflates things a little bit. That's it. And so he's in. And to your point, I assume that Monken's going to be very involved in calling these plays.
Yeah, like that's just with some of these hires, right? Like, from our Ravens right now, Jesse Minter is the head coach now. He came out yesterday and said that he's going to hire a defensive coordinator, but he is going to call the plays, right? As the head coach and de facto defensive coordinator, if you will. So we'll have to hear from Monken if that's what he wants to do. But this happens, and we see this all the time. Coaches bring guys along with them that they're comfortable with and knows the system and can, implement the system a lot quicker than maybe some guys that don't know the X's and O's and how they want to run their offense. You touched on Derrick Henry, the Baltimore offense, the last couple of years, top 2 in the sport in rushing yards per game. Big question mark for the Brownies this offseason is how quickly Quinshawn can get back to 100%, because I think there's something there with him. Browns' offensive line wasn't good this year. I saw PFF rank them 31st in the league, their final offensive line rankings of the season. And so that needs to be addressed. Won't be surprised if they address that with one of their first-round picks and maybe a couple of draft picks after that. We shall see. But that's how you got to build this thing out. And when you get coaches from that Ravens building, when you get coaches that are kind of in that hardball kind of run game realm of football, Tom Monken is want to lay that foundation, and he knows what he has to work with. But that's just going to be a big one, is to see where Quinchon is going to be at and how quickly he can get back to being 100%. Because if that's going to happen out of the gate, then they got a chance to do some damage on the ground.
This is official, right? Switzer is in there. Have they
I don't know if
they announced it yet?
I don't know if the team has announced it, but a lot of the reporters that we kind of rely on for our information that's credible, that they're rolling with this.
What's more credible, that he's an ex-Akron Zip, or that if he were related to Barry Switzer? What gets more?
I think if you're a Browns fan, you want to hear that he's related to Barry Switzer.
Okay.
Yeah, I think that's.
But we have
what you
Northeast
want.
Ohio.
I thought maybe, I was going to say.
Come
on home.
You didn't get your St. Ignatius grad in Gannon, but it's okay because you got a former Akron guy.
That's right.
Keep it in Northeast Ohio.
I'm yet to see how that equates to what happens on the field. But people it's a good feeling type of thing. It really is. It would be like one day, AR.
It's trying to win the press conference is what it is.
Well, I'm just saying, the feeling you get as a fan, right? One day, if a Dublin Kaufman grad took over for Ohio State,
Brady Quinn,
it makes you feel pretty good, right? But it doesn't go much further than that. You still got to X and O this thing up, and so I understand why Mike McCarthy has some Steeler fans feeling pretty good. And, there's Browns fans that hear, certain guys are coming out of the draft from that area. Hey, bring them to Cleveland. It's a feel-good story.
Well, it's a good story. It is cool.
The McCarthy thing?
Well, just when you have a homegrown person
it is
that
a cool
achieves
story.
success, high level of success, and then he gets to practice his trade in the area that he grew up, it tugs at the heartstrings a little bit.
It's like people who want JT Barrett as Ohio State's OC. Same thing.
Well, yeah. I mean,
but he's not from here. He's a Texas guy, though.
Right, but
he's a Texas guy.
But I understand what you're saying. A former Ohio State player.
Taking over. Yeah. It's there,
mattered.
but
it just means more.
The SEC is still touting that? Are they still touting it after not winning?
I think they got to change that slogan.
Now they got to, right?
Yeah.
Michigan, Ohio State, and Indiana three-peating on them.
That actually means less. A little bit less. Right. Maybe they go with that. It doesn't mean, how about this? It doesn't mean as much as it used to mean. Maybe they just go with that. All right. So anyway, Travis Switzer is probably in, and that's cool. We'll see. It doesn't really move the needle. It would have if he was related to Barry Switzer, or if they hired Barry Switzer. Wait a minute.
Yeah. What? Well, I was going to ask.
88.
What's he up to?
We're good. 88.
Yeah, he's good.
He's good. Okay.
I had to be careful there.
88. Okay.
All right. So Todd Monken arrived at the team's headquarters in Berea today. You've already told me that you think he needs to get a wardrobe agent. He needs to gear up.
Yeah, but
a little different.
Here is the thing, though.
Yeah,
he looked very football coach-y. And so that he doesn't care about the fashion. He doesn't care about the drip. Todd Monken is there for ball and ball only. But when I saw the outfit today, I was like, it's real unkish for him.
Midwestern guy.
Real unkish for him.
But that's a Midwestern. That's a suburban Chicago, Midwest dude. Let's show up in Wranglers and a sport jacket where you kind of like you're the substitute teacher. Right?
Okay.
Where you got to put on a sport jacket, but you don't need a tie, and you can just throw it on over a plaid shirt or something, and then you feel like, okay, I'm looking halfway professional.
Yeah, he was getting off that energy.
Yeah.
But he is going to, for Browns fans that obviously probably didn't watch a whole bunch of Ravens press conferences like I did, he's going to win the press conference. He's going to win you over. He's going to speak with conviction, and I think you'll walk away confident in what he can do. But, again, that's just a press conference, and he's got a lot of work to do.
Now, you guys do remember the story where the former Colorado quarterback Shedeur Sanders was once projected as a first-round pick.
It's a risk, though.
He slid to the 5th, as we all know.
And Mel Kiper. He's still sad about it.
That's right. And it's a good quarterback. Should have gone to the Ravens. Let me ask you guys about this. Yeah. This is part of the Monken meeting with Shedeur today?
This is the Monken meeting with Shedeur.
So what, this is Browns TV or Browns, they just recorded the visit?
Yeah, just their social media.
Okay, let's hear it.
What's going in there? Oh, yeah. Hey, How you doing? Welcome back to the States, Coach.
How we doing, man?
Good.
Yeah, we tried to draft your ass last year. It's all worked out.
Yeah.
You remember that, right?
Yeah, that's what I was about to tell you.
Someday we'll get a chance to talk about that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Awesome. Well, sit down.
Sit down. Stay a while.
One day we'll get a chance to talk about that. Sit down. It's right now.
Sit down.
That day is today.
That's got to make you feel good, though, if you're Shedeur. Now, was that him banging the table for Shedeur? Was it Harbaugh, Eric DaCosta? We'll never know. But hearing that from your new head coach right out of the gate.
What if Shedeur would have looked at him and said, when he said, we tried to draft you, you know what? And he's like, as a backup.
Which factually was correct. Factually was correct. But I have to imagine that the offensive coordinator, he had some say in, hey, we're going to add another quarterback to this room. What do you think? He clearly sounded like he signed off on it. And so my thought, though, is usually when there's a coach that is feeling some heat on his seat or a new head coach trying to set a tone, they usually lean towards the veteran guys. Like, more times than not, especially when you're a new head coach, you kind of lay some groundwork. And Shedeur's got, obviously, some work in the NFL after what we saw this year. But I'm just not putting to bed that Deshaun's going to be heavily in the mix for Todd Monk in maybe week 1 this year, just because of that.
I don't think it's a money thing. I think it's more of is he better? And if he's better and he's on my roster.
That's what it should be.
Yeah.
That's what it should be. But then you mentioned the money, and maybe that's where ownership gets involved and all that stuff can get messy.
You have to play him.
Messy, because it's their money. Yeah.
This is weird. It's very odd because what we saw in Deshaun, or what we have seen in him, was a shadow of what he was.
No doubt.
And talk about guys seeing ghosts. He was absolutely seeing ghosts when he was playing. Now we'll see. We get an offseason, you get a coaching change, you get a new vibe, the health part of it. And maybe now that people have, quote, written off Deshaun Watson, maybe now the pressure's off and he actually does show something.
Yeah, maybe so. But they need an upgrade all the way around on this offense, right? Like, there's one guy I think you really know what you're getting, and that's Fannin. Like, kind of everything else is question marks. The quarterback room, the health of the running back with Quinshawn, Njoku, where's he at in his career? But that wide receiver room needs a real upgrade, as does that offensive line. So they got an uphill climb to really get in the mix with some of the elite offensive teams right now in the NFL.
We come back in 2 minutes. We'll switch gears to the Jackets. And the general manager, Don Waddell, will jump on the program. He got his bump. He pushed the right button. How much more does he need to see to lean into this team even more? That's next. Rothman Ice and the Fan.
Sit down.
I'm John Morgan of Morgan & Morgan. My best advice to you when hiring a lawyer for your injury case is simple. If you know court personnel, ask them who they'd hire. They know. If you know an insurance adjuster, ask them. They know. And then ask them about us. Ask them about Morgan & Morgan. They know. I look forward to talking to you soon. There's only one Morgan & Morgan, America's largest injury law firm for the people.
Injured? Dial Pound Law.
Morgan & Morgan, Ohio office located at 600 Vine Street, Cincinnati. Prior results do not guarantee a similar outcome.
There's no place in hockey where you'll find more passion, more pride, and more boom. Make some memories with the Columbus Dispatch Family Value Pack, presented by ABC6 and Fox 28 at bluejackets.com/family.
From military life to a rewarding career in IT, kickstart your new journey in a matter of months in the fields of IT and cybersecurity, including AI. Learn more at mycomputercareer.edu/CWP.
Financial aid is available for qualified students, including VA benefits.
Did you know that Tansky Sawmill Toyota has a Toyota certified collision center? They only use Toyota factory parts, and the cars are put back together by Toyota trained technicians. Don't trust just anyone to keep your Toyota a Toyota. In the unfortunate case of an accident, bring your Toyota to Tansky Sawmill Toyota. Visit TanskyAutobody.com to schedule an appointment, or visit them today. And when you think Toyota, think Tansky.
Think Tansky.
Your mornings are jam-packed. So if you're going to add anything, make it your favorite bite from Tim Hortons. Buy any size beverage and add a daily baked donut for $1, a tasty bagel for $2, or a freshly cracked hot breakfast sandwich for just $3. It's the best way to add more to your morning. The 1-2-3 menu, only at your neighborhood Tim Hortons. At participating U.S. restaurants, must ask for offer in restaurant. Tax extra exclusions and terms apply at timhortons.com/offer-terms.
Rothman and Ice is sponsored by your local Pella Window and Door showroom on Gemini Parkway. The Fan, Ohio sports destination.
You're listening to Rothman and Ice on 97.1 The Fan.
It's always nice. And Al Pacino introduces our next guest. And our next guest is the Blue Jacket boss. He is the president of hockey ops. He's the general manager. He has pushed the button that has engineered a bounce back in this team that has put them in the conversation again. And so the hope is there, and we're selling it, or he's selling it, and we're buying it right now. He is our guy, Don Waddell. Don, thanks for making the time.
Always a pleasure to be with you guys.
6 of 7. He's 6-1 since you made the switch. And you got the bump. Were you nervous about this? I know you had to do it and you wanted to do it, but what's that moment like before you know you're going to get a bump or any? Because this could have gone the other way, right? It could have. This is professional hockey. How nervous were you to make that move?
Well, you're always nervous, but you know what I really looked at was Rick's history and knowing Rick, and he's taken over teams during the season. But more importantly, I just felt that he would make our players better, particularly our younger players, regardless. Like, I couldn't promise wins and losses as much as I'd like to, but I also knew that he would do a great job with our players, particularly our young players, and make them better players. So I think that was probably the sounding where it made sense for me to do this right now and make the move.
Who do you think has kind of gotten some juice from this, of the young guys you're talking about? Who have you seen specifically, either more ice time or something different about their game?
Well, I think, let's go to Ken Johnson. He scored 24 goals last year. He's been in a slump this year. And, the last couple of weeks before Rick took over, he was playing on the fourth line with 10 minutes of ice time. And, for a player that age, it's hard to get out of any kind of slump when you're playing limited minutes and not playing in key situations, and Rick's given him that opportunity. And I know he hasn't scored as much as he'd like to score, but he's had great chances. But he's creating a lot. He's playing the game differently than he was. He's playing a lot harder. Doesn't mean he's going to kill anybody, but he's been more of an effective player than 200-foot player than he was before. So he's one guy for sure. Obviously, Fantilli's playing with great confidence right now. Marchenko, the same thing. And it's not always about, as Rick has said, and you've probably heard him say this, we're not going to get our way in the playoffs by outscoring teams. We're going to get in the playoffs by playing good defense. And so the responsibility for all these players, particularly the young guys, is to make sure they take care of their own zone. And that's how you're going to get more ice time and get more responsibility. It's if you play good defensively, that's going to lead the offense for you. And they've all bought into it, and that's been nice to see.
Yeah, it really had. Don, I want to go back to your coaching decision and going away from Dean Evison and why you felt at the time it was time to move on and bring in Rick. What went into that decision for you?
Well, first, I've said Dean did a great job last year. It was a tough year, and he kept those guys together. I can't put my finger on exactly what happened this year, but it wasn't working, and I thought our young players were taking a step backwards. And when you're watching that and you know what your future looks like, we just couldn't let that continue to happen. And that was probably the biggest thing. Because, again, nobody knew you'd come out of there and go 6-1 in your 7 games. Nobody could predict that. But I just felt, as I explained to Mike Priest, my boss and ownership, that Rick's worked with a lot of different players, a lot of star players over the years, and if we make the change, he could make our younger players better, not just this year, but for the future.
Don Waddell with us, general manager of the Blue Jackets. So you get this 6-1 bump, which was so needed and so vital, and you did it for that reason. But you look up in the standings, and it's still a tough road here. So where are you in the, pre-Olympic break? You've got 4 games here. And then I think you have 5 games coming out of the Olympic break. What do you have to see, I guess, in those 9 games for you to feel like I can lean into this now before the trade deadline?
Yeah, you want to see how we go into the break. First of all, we got 4 big games coming up here, all important games, of course. We do have games in hand on a lot of teams now because of the game getting canceled Monday and being behind a little bit in games, so you take that into account. But it's not just the wins and losses, how we're playing. if we go 0 for 4 the next 4 games, it's probably a different story. But, how we go into break, we win some games here this next 4. Watch how we're going into break, and then watch how we come out of the break, because those games are going to be ultimately, I think, the ones that are going to make decisions which direction we go with this franchise.
Don, yesterday we were talking about Charlie Coyle and the season that he's having right now and being a productive player for you guys over there. And, unrestricted free agency is around the corner for a guy like him, as you know. And I wanted to ask you, what factors go into the decisions whether or not to trade a guy or keep a guy when you look at unrestricted free agency being sooner rather than later for a guy like Charlie Coyle?
Yeah, I'm going to have talks with all the agents over the break and just see where they're at. Regardless of if we're buyers or sellers, there's some important pieces there, like Charlie, that we'd like to see. If he wants to stay. Like I don't get caught up too much with the timing, because as we saw last year, we signed guys UFAs late. But I always say, if the player wants to stay and we want the player to stay, I always still will work out a deal. So I don't get too caught up in that. What I want to make sure is that Charlie's happy here right now, which, I've talked to him daily, and things are going well, of course, right now. But get a good sense of what he thinks his future looks like from not just from a contract standpoint, but where he wants to be in the next few years.
Don, when you have those sit-downs with an agent, do you go into that with a framework of what a contract would look like for that player, or is that something that happens later down the road?
Well, you always have, you try to do comparables, and UFAs are always harder than RFAs because, RFAs are different, the way they can go. Most time RFAs get signed. It's just a matter of time. UFAs have a choice. So you got to go in with some understanding of what you're willing to do for a player. And then you want to hear their feedback too. Is it 2 years? Is it 4 years that they're looking for? Because a lot of times you won't get a number, but you'll get the term. The people express what kind of term the player's looking for. And then from there, you start grinding out of the numbers.
Well, listen, you've pushed some right buttons here, man. He's a leader in the room. He's got a winning pedigree. Coyle just played, obviously, his 1,000th game. And you gave up a good prospect for him, right? Gavin Brindley was involved in that deal, wasn't he?
Yeah, he was. And Gavin, we knew Gavin's going to be a good player. We just felt that with our team, with having Kent and, on a little bit of the smaller size, that we could afford to give him up. And, especially Kent was coming off 24 goals last year. So, but we went into the summer saying we need a right-hand shot center, an experienced guy. And when Charlie became available, we were pretty aggressive to make sure we got him, and which we were fortunate to get him.
Mason Marchment also. That's another question you're going to have on re-sign, or is that scenario dependent as well?
Yeah, we'll same thing. I'll talk with the agent here over the break and see how. Obviously he just joined the team and right before Christmas there, and he's been on fire since we've gotten him. He was kind of the stir that got us going again there right off the bat when he played his first game. So he's been an important player. He missed a few games with the injuries, and he came back and didn't score the first game and then had a hat trick the second game. So, those kind of players, they don't come around that often. So you got to make sure you investigate to see, again, what his future looks like, both from our side and from his side.
Speaking of the future, I know a guy that you're hoping will be a key piece of the future is going to be Caden Lindstrom. You guys drafted him very high just a couple years ago, Don. Any update on how he's doing his time at Michigan State? What's he up there looking like right now?
Yeah, I've watched him 3 times up there. The beginning of the year when I watched him was going really well. He was getting frustrated because he wasn't scoring. The game I was at, the first game, he had 2 breakaways and didn't score in either one. And, young players, especially players coming from the CHL, and we've seen it in other players around the college ranks, they think they're going to come in and just score. And college hockey is good hockey. And players are a little older, a little more mature, a little bit more built in their bodies and all that. So he was going good. Then he had an high ankle sprain that kept him out for 3 weekends. Came back a little slow. You could see he was a little gingerly. And then I watched him a couple weeks ago, and he was back to himself. He's going to be a power forward. He tries to hit everything, and sometimes maybe too aggressive. where, he's smart. He can get the puck and steal the puck. But I think he's progressing. It's when a player misses almost a whole year of hockey, obviously played only a few games in the CHL playoffs the year before, it's going to take time. And again, I go back and say, college hockey is good hockey. So just because you're coming from, the best junior league in the world, the CHL, doesn't mean you're going to just come in and pop goals and assists right off the bat. So he's progressing. It's missing those times a little bit, set him back there for those 3 weeks, but I'm looking for a very strong finish from them. They got a good team. They should be in the tournament, and we'll see how it all goes.
Great stuff. Hopefully, and stay healthy and all that good stuff. He's got a heck of a future. All right, here's a tough one because I don't envy you on these kind of things. And I don't even know how you're going to be able to answer this. So one that would really tug on the heartstrings of Jacket fans would be Boone Jenner. Heart and soul guy, loyal guy, been here forever. He's our guy. Would you have discussions with him about an extension? Have you yet?
I've talked to his agent just recently, a couple of days ago, and we're going to talk again here in the next little bit. Boone is the kind of guy that you like in your locker room, of course, and the guys look up to him. And the issue that we just have to get through is Boone's missed a lot of games, 117 games in the last 4 years, not counting this year. So when players are aging, you always want to be careful. What kind of term that you give them, but saying all that, yeah, we would like to be able to bring Boone back, and obviously we'd like him to start his career as a Blue Jacket and finish his career as a Blue Jacket.
Well, I know your phone's going to ring at some point. It probably always does, especially with him.
Yeah, it hasn't stopped. It's all my friends in the league that are trying to help me out.
Right.
We'll take this player for you. We'll take that player. Yeah, they're all my friends, so they're all trying to help me.
That's right. Yes, they all have your best interest at heart. All right. Well, Levi the Cat says hello to Casper the Cat. We appreciate you, my man, and stay warm. Keep this going. You guys are more than in the conversation. Hope you run this right up to the Olympic break, and we'll get you back soon.
Great. Always appreciate being with you guys. Have a great day. Thank you.
Thanks Don Waddell, president of Hockey Ops and the general manager of your Columbus Blue Jackets. Selling hope here right before the Olympic break, and they've given Jacket fans a lot of that right now. We'll come back with overs and unders into the weekend. Rothman and Ice and the Fan.
Head to 971thefan.com to listen on demand and subscribe to all our podcasts. Wasting time has never been easier. The Fan, Ohio sports destination.
Listen to Financially Fit Radio with Corey Sickles this Saturday morning at 9 on 1460 AM, covering topics like what you need to know about annuities and how to stay healthy and enjoy retirement. Financially Fit Radio this Saturday morning at 9 on 1460 AM.
My mom is a veteran and she was injured in the line of duty.
I hurt my leg in a training accident when she was only 2 years old.
She had 7 different surgeries over the span of 9 years, and there were tons of complications.
I couldn't be the mom my kids needed me to be.
She missed so much.
After my last surgery, I got an infection so bad I thought it was going to kill me.
I told her she couldn't leave me yet. There was still so much she had to see. I hadn't even graduated.
I'm doing much better now. I may have lost my leg, but I've gained so much. I'm an active part of my kids' lives.
She can kick a mean soccer ball.
DAV's been there for me and my family. Through thick and thin, they've had our back.
Every year, DAV helps more than 1 million veterans like Sandy get the health and disability benefits they've earned so they can achieve victories great and small.
My victory is getting my life back. I got my joy back.
We got our mom back, thanks to DAV.
Support more victories for veterans. Go to DAV.org.
Some journeys start small, with small pause and big purpose.
That's how it'll fly, you sweet girl.
Every great partnership begins with the first step.
Ella, let's go.
Guiding them through the world so one day they can guide someone through life. With shared experience, confidence grows, and the path becomes clear. It takes time, patience, and love. But the reward lasts a lifetime.
Good girl, Bella.
You don't just raise a puppy. You raise a future. Become a Dogs Inc. puppy raiser. Give a dog a purpose. Give someone hope.
Learn more at dogsinc.org. Wildlife around the globe needs help. And when you help protect them, you become a friend of the San Diego Zoo Wildlife Alliance.
Thank you for being a friend.
Travel down the road and back again.
Your heart is true. You're a pal and a confidant.
Thank you for helping protect wildlife around the globe. Without you, there's no them. Learn more at sdzwa.org/friend.
Join our resident gambling degenerates Steve Biddle and Scotty Vegas for On the Money, Sunday mornings at 9.
Presented by the Sportsbook at Hollywood Casino Columbus.
All the action, none of the responsibility.
The Fan.
Day 1, the hardest day. The day you hear.
This is a type of blood cancer.
At the Leukemia and Lymphoma Society, we are here to help you move past day 1. To learn more and get help on any day, visit LLS.org or call 1-800-955-4572.
When you're hiring, have you ever felt like you're missing out on meeting truly great candidates for your roles? It seems impossible to find them, but they have to be out there somewhere, right? Well, they're not hard to find when you know where to go, and that place is ZipRecruiter. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter helps 10 million people with their job search every day. And because these people are actively looking for jobs just like yours, it's easy to find the right person right away. In fact, 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. But if you're not using ZipRecruiter, you're missing out. So see what it's like when the impossible is easy. When you go to ZipRecruiter.com/radio right now to try ZipRecruiter for free. Once again, that's ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter.com/radio. Never miss out on great candidates with ZipRecruiter.
All your favorite fan shows are available when you want them.
Head to 971thefan.com and hit that subscribe button.
The Fan, Ohio sports destination. Rothman and Ice presents Overs and Unders.
Sponsored by the Roofing Guys. For all your roofing, siding, and gutter needs, contact the Roofing Guys at theroofingguys.com.
By the way, great of Don to jump on. A lot going on there.
Absolutely.
And we could have had him on, honestly, for half an hour because the toughest part about making that move is not knowing. And then when you do get the bump, which they've gotten, to not be climbing in the standings the way you would hope to, being 6-1 with him and looking up at 10 points back of, what are they? I think they're 10 points back of.
So the Bruins right now are at 67
in the wild card. So they're 10. They've gone 6-1 with Bones, and they're 10 points back of the wild card. Now the good news is they're 8 points back of the Islanders in the Metro, which is very good, and that's the path they're going to probably be able to go. The issue is the Penguins and the Islanders are on fire, or at least they're winning.
And so is Boston, AR. Boston 8-1-1 in their last 10.
So that's the frustration. Now, we didn't tap his brain into that frustration because this is what he wanted, and this is why he made the move. The other thing I thought was very interesting, and we may have to listen back to this next week, but when I asked him about Boone Jenner, that is a tough one. That's an emotional thing for the fan base.
No doubt.
That's your captain. That's not an easy piece to move. But you know they'll be calling because that's exactly the guy other teams want to rent going into the playoffs. 100% if they know he's healthy. But at the end, you heard him say he started a jacket. We like him to retire as a jacket. Now, some people would hear that as he's not going anywhere. Don't be so quick on, hey, you go be a rental, and then we bring you back. That could be that could be in place even before that happens, and that would be a way to kind of massage that in, but we don't know.
It was great of Don to give us his time for sure. Really enjoyed that. And one thing that I probably should have asked him about Slick Rick's contract and what it would take for him to extend Rick out. What results do you need to see?
Probably.
Yeah, would have loved
and then see if Rick wants to do it. Because remember, Rick is now in his mind maybe more of a sprinter than a marathoner. And it may be, hey, I can jump on for the second half. I'm re-energized. I feel good. My family's okay with it.
Yep.
Now, whether he wants to commit to 82 and more is yet to be seen. But if they do make the playoffs, and they're an underdog, a big underdog to make it right now. I think they're plus 230 to make it. Then things change. And then maybe he has some emotion. All right, TLC, sorry about it.
No, I enjoyed it. I was enjoying that.
Thanks,
and I enjoyed the interview last segment.
Appreciate you.
Big one for us. Great cat. All right, let's update the poll from yesterday. So we gave you a mid-show update on the poll yesterday, but we were only like a dozen votes in, so we didn't have much information. So the question was, would you be in favor of the Super Bowl becoming a best-of-3 series? One home game for each team. Game 3 is a neutral site.
Are the people with me?
And so there's no home field advantage?
I guess what we came up with, and we didn't include this in the thing, because, I mean, I wanted people to actually read what we put instead of, like, giving them a whole paragraph. But I guess the home field advantage could be whoever had the best regular season record gets to choose if they won the first game at home, or I don't know, maybe like game 1 neutral, game 1 at home, game 2 neutral, game 3 on the road. I don't know.
Ooh, okay. I would take the home game first. If I were the higher seed with the better
I
whatever.
can't believe I'm even wrapping my mind around this, because when this first organically came up, I'm like, this is the worst thing ever. And then
thanks.
I didn't mean it as that. I just meant in my mind it was. It doesn't mean that I wouldn't watch, and it doesn't mean that it wouldn't eventually maybe turn out to have some drama and intensity to it. But I just don't think you can ask teams to play that many games and then say, all right, your championship now. In football. In other sports, you can get away with it. But in football, that's...
Did you ever think that college football would be playing this many games? I've asked you that 10 years ago. AR, the champ's going to play 15 to 16 games.
When I was a kid, the NFL played 14.
Yeah. And we're probably going to go to 18 sooner rather than later.
All right, what are the results?
Okay, so I think we are very clear that it is a no, keep it as is the favorite. However, the percentage that I'm giving you, the winning percentage, over under 90.0.
Dang.
What up, Zeke?
Wait, what?
Wait, what?
Just talking to Isaiah.
Oh, okay.
Oh, Isaiah's already locked in for his update at the top of the hour.
Open mic night.
I'm filling the air while you guys think.
It's high. It's got to be over that, because yesterday it was 100%. So he just gave us an over-under of 90.5. I'm going to take the over.
We have over 100 more voters than we updated last.
I don't think the voters think about this as long as you and I do. So I think if I'm playing the knee-jerk reaction, it's no.
Unfortunately, I'm going to have to ride with you. But I'm going to stay 10 toes down in my take that I think this would be fun and should happen.
No one at 92.4%.
Oh, it's closer than I thought.
I got some people with me. I'll take it. I'll take whatever I can get.
7.5% on Maddie's side.
We got floating temperatures for tomorrow morning. It has appeared to be as low as -12.
Come on, man. What are we doing?
However, it currently shows as -6 for the low tomorrow morning. So, what is going to be the low tomorrow morning? Over under -6.5.
Listen, we both undersold the blizzard, just because I think we're trying to will it not to happen, or that it might fizzle out like some do. Yeah. But I remember saying on that Friday, like, we're way too close to the storm for them to get it that wrong. And so you say they're predicting -6?
As of now.
We've been hitting a couple of -2s this week.
So as of a couple days ago.
So if I say over, that means I think it's going to be -7 or worse.
No.
Oh.
An over would be...
Okay.
-5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0.
Over. Okay. Yeah, I'm going under then.
I'm going over.
All right, here we go. My favorite one. How many days until the snow is entirely melted? Over under 15.5.
Ooh.
Well, how many days are we going to get sun? Because, the sun will melt it right off. Oh, man. How many days? Wait, how many days till we don't see snow, period? On the ground?
Correct. 15.5.
Give me the under on that.
What does that mean? I get confused. Under mean it'd be less days?
Yes. So less than 15.5 days.
Where it's all gone.
All gone.
Oh, no, I'm over.
Really?
Yeah, and we don't even need to see any more flakes for it to still be here in 2 weeks.
I'm mentally will this, and I'm over. Okay. Feels like you're driving down like we're like a bowling ball and bumper cars. All the the bumpers at the bowling alley.
Yeah.
That's what I feel like when I'm driving. There's just snow everywhere.
Well, that's nice because you have a nice embankment instead of like a bridge
bounce off that
right?
thing?
Yeah, well, less damage. All right, we're going to go top of the hour number 2, and we'll get into a wild little ranking system that they put out on ESPN. The NFL coaches got ranked the last 5 years. A couple of them are rank. We'll give that to you next. Rothman and Ice on the Fan.
There's nothing Bo Bishop can't do well, except find competent co-hosts. Bishop and Friends.
Weekdays from 9 to noon.
The Fan.
Men, the new year is here, and if you're like many of us, you're ready to improve your health. But if you're feeling low energy, not sleeping well, or not seeing results in the gym, keeping that resolution can be tough. This is Jeff for Tri-State Men's Health, and if those symptoms sound familiar, we can likely help. They often point to low testosterone, and treating low T is what we do. But this year, we're also helping men go further with 4 targeted body composition plans featuring growth hormone peptides, NAD+, GLP-1s, and more. Designed to boost energy, support metabolism, enhance recovery, and accelerate fat loss. With our low T treatments combined with our body composition programs, most men notice real improvements. More energy, better focus, improved sleep, stronger workouts, and often a renewed sex drive as well. So call us. Your initial visit is just $99 and includes blood work and a medical consult. And if you start on treatment the same day, your visit is free. Call 800-900-9654 or visit tristatemenshealth.com.
Featured therapies are compounded and have not been evaluated nor approved by the FDA. Provider prescription required. See website for details.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm. I'm Chuck McDowell, founder of Wesley Financial Group. Did you buy a timeshare because they told you it was a great investment? That's a lie. Most timeshares can be bought online for $1. To find out what your timeshare is worth and to cancel it, call us today and we'll send you our timeshare exit kit free with all your options for cancellation.
Call Wesley for your free exit info guide. 800-691-9999. That's 800-691-9999.
Shopping with your parents can be embarrassing.
Why would they sell jeans with holes in them? I'm going to speak to the manager.
Mom!
That hoodie is giving. You should get it. YOLO.
Thanks to the Chase mobile app, your kid can shop independently while you keep an eye on their spending. So you can go from...
We can be twinsies.
...to...
How was shopping? Saw you stayed on budget.
Thanks, Mom. Freedom for kids, control for parents. That's family banking from Chase.
Account subject to approval. Chase mobile app is available for select mobile devices. Message and data rates may apply. JP Morgan Chase Bank N.A. member FDIC.
Hey, what's up? It's T-Bone. One of the great annoyances in life, at least for me, is the check engine light, right? You get in your car, you see the check engine light, and you go, I got to take care of that. I don't know what it is. So you let it sit there forever. It bugs you, and eventually a bigger problem happens. Well, every day in your house, your check engine light might be on, but it's not your engine. It's your windows, because you sit down on your couch, you feel the cold, drafty air coming in through your windows, and you go, I got to do something about these windows. But just like the check engine light, I'm afraid of how much it's going to cost, and I don't know where to go. I can't help you with your check engine light, but I can help you with your windows. Window Nation's Buy 4, Get 4 Windows Free sale is going on now. Stop wasting money by letting the warm air in your house escape through your cold, drafty windows. You're spending more on your heating bills when you don't have to. Window Nation's Buy 4, Get 4 Windows Free sale is the perfect time to address this problem. Plus, 0 down, 0 monthly payments, and 0 interest for 2 years. That could be yours as well. Schedule an estimate today. WindowNation.com.
At St. Jude, every innovation we make is a moment we give to children with cancer everywhere. But we can't do it without you.
Learn more at stjude.org.
We asked parents who adopted teens to share their journey.
Nathan has taught me to embrace the moment. Age-wise, I'm in my late 60s. I'm old enough to be his grandfather. Will he be embarrassed to acknowledge me as his dad? I think the most important thing we can do is let them know that they're safe, that they're valued and cared for and loved, and that they're important.
I knew I wanted to be adopted by him because of how he taught me to be the person who I am today. And it's coming from a dad that didn't expect to become a dad. And I feel very proud to be his son.
I was what he needed, and he was what I needed. Every day is full of new opportunities. That's what it's been about, realizing the simple things that it takes to make such a huge difference in these kids' lives.
Learn about adopting a teen from foster care at adoptuskids.org. Brought to you by Adopt US Kids, the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, and the Ad Council.
As a teacher or coach, do you ever feel overwhelmed supporting kids' mental health?
Teachers need tons of help.
I had never experienced players being so down that they can't even participate.
It's so important that we are constantly educating ourselves.
It's the same as the CPR class to me. We're trying to save a life here.
The Kids Mental Health Foundation has free tools and information developed by experts. Scan the QR code or check out kidsmentalhealthfoundation.org to get started.
We got a higher home appraisal after we put away our African art and family photos.
Has this happened to you because of race or national origin? Contact HUD at hud.gov/fairhousing. A message from HUD and the National Fair Housing Alliance.
Broadcasting live from the McDaniel GM Superstore Studios. Driving excellence since 1916. Chevrolet. Together, let's drive. WBNS HD1 Columbus.
Good afternoon, I'm Isaiah Jacob. In the NFL, the Cleveland Browns are expected to hire former Baltimore Ravens run game coordinator Travis Switzer as their offensive coordinator. Switzer is one of a handful of Ravens assistants joining new head coach Todd Monken in Cleveland, including offensive line coach George Warhop. Tonight, the Jackets take on the Chicago Blackhawks at 8:30. The CBJ have won 7 of their last 8. Pre-game coverage begins right here on the Fan at 7:30. The Cavs in action tonight out in Phoenix, taking on the Suns at 9 p.m. Some reports coming out of Cleveland indicate the Cavs are in trade discussions around DeAndre Hunter and Lonzo Ball. The Cavs trying to escape the second apron. Tomorrow, Ohio State Hoops travel to Wisconsin to play at 2 p.m. The Badgers have been hot, winning 6 of their last 7. Buckeyes look to make it 2 in a row. We have pregame coverage beginning right here on the Fan at 1 p.m. Breaking sports news when it happens on the Fan, Ohio sports destination.
Like trying to snap a picture of Bigfoot. Nobody has ever witnessed Maddie eating a carb. This is Rothman and Ice.
Second hour of the program, pressure cooker at 117. Sam Bruckhouse, Sumer Sports football analyst, 130.
Hey, I'm looking across the glass right now, and TLC literally has a chicken wing in his hand as we speak with one hand on the board. Must be nice, man. He's just,
you could have had it too.
Boy, I don't know. Are you keeping one hand clean and the other like on the board?
Mm-hmm.
That's the degree of difficulty on that isn't easy.
There's crumbs everywhere. There has to be crumbs.
How
on
about
the floor.
crumbs?
It's gotta be. Yeah, he's picking them up now. Yeah,
okay.
There's crumbs. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Swish.
Remember, folks, he did radio in St. Louis, the gateway to the West.
Yeah. The gateway city.
All right. This is interesting. The fact that my Vikes have fired their GM after giving him a multi-year extension last year when we won 14 games, and they sent him to the Senior Bowl and then said, well, thanks.
That's cold-blooded. That's a little cold-blooded. There has to be some more going on because you send a guy, because the Senior Bowl was this week, obviously. I think the game is tomorrow, so he's down there grinding and getting all this intel on guys that they may draft, and then he flew back home to Minnesota, and they said, you know what? We're good. You're out of here. I did find this tweet, though.
Okay.
This is coming from our guy, Adam Schefter. Throughout the season, there was talks about an underlying tension in the Vikings building in league circles. One league source said it had been ugly in Minnesota. Then today, the Vikings fired Adolfo Mensa. So there you go. So maybe a power struggle behind the scenes with who, don't know. But, okay, that makes more sense there. But the whole sending him to the Senior Bowl and then firing him, it's a little grimy.
You know what? I think this has a lot of Sam Darnold effect. I do. They fired him. I mean, Sam might win the Super Bowl.
Yeah, he's 4 quarters away, man.
J.J. McCarthy looks a lot less than what they think he's going to be. And that combo,
Here's what I'll say, though, AR. I don't know if there's a lot of GMs that wouldn't have made the decision that he made.
Yeah.
To give the first-round talent at that position a chance to show what he can do. Because you would have been paying Sam Darnold, you're not giving him an extension. Yeah. You would have had to hit him with the franchise tag.
Let me ask you a weird, wild question.
Yeah.
Both of you guys. If I were running the Vikings and I came to work today and I said, we need to go all in and we need to take the dynamite to this thing and we need to offer picks and defensive talent for Joseph Burrow and reunite him, the often injured quarterback, with his greatest wide receiver.
Yeah.
would the Bengals even pick up the phone?
They would pick up the phone and immediately hang
Okay.
up.
All right.
Yeah, that's where I would be at if I were running the Bengals. I see the vision and what you're trying to create up there in Minnesota for sure. I mean, you pair that guy together, it's kind of what we already see in Cincinnati with the playmakers that Joey B has, but I don't think that conversation goes very far in Cincinnati. But I do think up in Minnesota, you guys are going to be having some interesting conversations this offseason about what are we going to do, because I just don't think you're rolling into training camp next year with J.J. McCarthy as the only guy as a viable starter or could be a viable starter in the league next year.
We're way over the cap. I mean, we're toast. I don't know how we figure out our quarterback situation without making massive moves, massive trades. I don't know. We had Daniel Jones got injured. That's the saving grace for the Vikes letting him out of the building. Or It's the double whammy. Imagine if Daniel Jones had continued on that path this year and gotten the Colts in, and they were making a dent in the playoffs. Or imagine the nightmare of all nightmare scenarios. The Colts are playing the Seahawks in the Super Bowl, and the Viking quarterback bowl is next Sunday.
One of the guys would.
Don't worry. Maddie says no one would watch that anyway, so they wouldn't know.
That's true. Yeah, it's a ratings killer.
This guy, man.
80 million versus 100.
That's never been my stance. My stance has always been it would be a lot less viewers. That has been my stance. And
Millions less.
Nobody would want to watch Daniel Jones and Sam Darnold. It'd be a garbage Super Bowl to sell. It'd be terrible to sell if you're the league.
Being terrible to sell and people not watching are two different things. I think
I understand that, but he's living in this world to where those two guys move the needle, and they don't. They don't.
I just think the game moves the needle.
There are two words that move the needle. Super Bowl.
Okay.
That's all you need.
And my stance has always been in the world of business, which the NFL is in, you don't want to sell that and have 30 less million viewers watching that game.
What else are they going to be watching?
Well, I don't know.
What if it turns
that game would not? That's not
going to rewatch season 5 of Stranger Things instead.
Yeah, maybe.
Here's the other thing, though. You're making the leap that pre-flop, pre-kick, that game is not good. So nobody's watching. You have to leave room for what if it's a great game.
I'm leaving room for that, and I'm conceding to you guys that obviously a lot of people would watch the game, but
70 million plus.
That I don't think it would be that many people. I think when you have, let's say, we did have this year, Joe Burrow pick an elite quarterback from the NFC side.
Baker Mayfield.
Throw
Jalen Hurts.
Throw Stafford in there and the Rams. That's going to do a lot better numbers than, or heck, let's do Joey B and Dak Prescott with the Cowboys. You guys are trying to tell me that there wouldn't be a significant gap between that game and Sam Darnold and Daniel Jones as far as viewership?
If it turned into a blowout, it might not be.
I'm talking about just interest out of the gate. I happen to think that there would be a much larger gap in interest in the game. The NFL's always going to do monster numbers.
I would actually argue it doesn't, because when I say every, I mean every sports fan in America is watching.
But you have to have some level of an attraction. And the Super Bowl that you presented, that's not an attraction. It's just not. In my mind, it's not.
Okay, well, let's actually take this from the real world, because we do have at least one of these. You know, we argued the Seahawks versus the Colts in like week 8. We actually got one of them. Is there no legitimacy to the Seahawks now that they've actually ran the table and gotten here? Like, doesn't getting to the Super Bowl give you the legitimacy that you need just because your quarterback's name is Sam Darnold?
No, it does, but
regardless of the fact that your quarterback's name is Sam Darnold.
I think different things here. And I think you are caught up in, just because it's a Super Bowl, it's always going to do crazy numbers, which I'm giving you.
Okay.
But I just think that as Roger Goodell in the league, if we're running a business, we want headliners on the marquee. And some of the Super Bowls that you guys have presented, that wouldn't be the case.
I'm with you on that. I mean,
that's all.
I don't think that's a big reach. If you had the two of the elite guys in the sport going against each other, if Brady is, like we've seen it in AFC title games. You know, if
Brady and Manning,
if Burrow's playing Allen, or if something like you.
Yeah. So are we saying that this year the Super Bowl is only half baked because it's the Seahawks and Sam Darnold, and we got Drake May, MVP candidate, up and comer.
You don't have the headliner on the other side either.
I haven't heard anybody complaining about this Super Bowl. Being like, oh, man, it's the Seahawks, really?
We kind of knew going into the playoffs
about it. Nobody's going to complain about it. But there's a whole new world where you could have a guy like Josh Allen in the Super Bowl, and there's another side of the entertainment world where you have his wife and Haley Steinfeld, or let's say when the Chiefs were in it, the Kelsey stuff with Taylor Swift. Like
you had Jimmy Garoppolo on one side once. You had Purdy. You've had
but I guess my point is when you have those type of guys, there's just more eyeballs on the sport because of who they are, and then sometimes what they do outside of football, who they're with outside of football, that brings even more people to the table, more so than
I know. So I'm
Sam
saying,
Darnold or
my question
Daniel Jones.
Is there an issue with this Super Bowl then?
I don't have an issue with it.
Okay.
I really don't. I'm just I put myself in the shoes of what I think the league would
Do you
want.
think the league has an issue with this year's Super Bowl?
I don't think they love this, but I don't think they're upset about it.
They knew going in what they had and what they didn't have.
They wanted Josh Allen to be in this game.
Yeah, I'm sure they did.
That's what
especially since they haven't won one, Buffalo, and he hasn't been to one.
Correct.
I also think that in the sports world, we've had this weird, and this bothers me, and you know this bothers me. Everything has to be about history. Everything. Is he going to win another one? Are they going to win another one? Are they going to stack 3? Is this a dynasty? Everything has to go to the big picture. We cannot live in the present. We can't get excited about certain games where there's no real massive history or some impact of history involved. Is Mahomes there? Is he going to win another one? Can he catch Brady? Like, that's all of it. And it bothers me because this is a good game. 2 teams that certainly have maybe exceeded expectations. A quarterback that was thrown into the garbage bin. Another one that's young and up and coming. Yes, he's on a branded franchise, and maybe there's some Patriot hate there. But honestly, I just love a great story and a good game, and these teams have earned it. And I think what we have to sell, or what they think they have to sell, is always the best of the best of the best. And anything else lacks intensity and interest and all that.
I completely understand where you're coming from. I think maybe a little bit of the problem with this Super Bowl, too, is on the New England side of things, is that you're selling Drake May, and then after that for New England, you're selling their head coach as far as star power on the team. And so and look, it's not going to hurt the NFL at all, but I just think for when you want to get as many eyeballs and recognizable names in this thing, New England doesn't have that. The casual football fan right now, I don't think, can name 5 Patriot players. Yeah. It's Vrabel and Drake May. That's what you're selling.
All right, we're going to come back, and who feels the heat going into the weekend? It's time for the pressure cooker. That's next. Rothman Ice and the Fan.
Never have I been so excited to get a whiff of sweaty jock straps. It's Football Friday.
Sponsored by Tansky Sawmill Toyota.
Yay, football, the Fan.
Did you know that Tansky Sawmill Toyota has a Toyota certified collision center? They only use Toyota factory parts, and the cars are put back together by Toyota trained technicians. Don't trust just anyone to keep your Toyota a Toyota. In the unfortunate case of an accident, bring your Toyota to Tansky Sawmill Toyota. Visit TanskyAutobody.com to schedule an appointment, or visit them today. And when you think Toyota, think Tansky.
Think Tansky.
Hey there, friends. It's Bo Bishop here. You know High Bank for their award-winning spirits, but the food deserves just as much love. Enjoy happy hour with friends, brunch with family, and dinner that never misses. Make your reservation today at highbankco.com. Dine, drink, distill at High Bank.
How's Tommy doing now?
Much better.
You said it was asthma?
Yeah, he started with this cough and then he was wheezing.
That's terrifying.
Doctor said hidden triggers can make it worse. Things like dust, mold, and even pests.
Pests?
Yeah, droppings and allergens from cockroaches and rodents can seriously impact children with asthma or allergies.
I had no idea.
We're making sure our home stays pest-free.
Don't let pests put your family's health at risk. Visit pestworld.org to learn more. A public service message from the National Pest Management Association.
At ADP, we know you want your landscape business to succeed, but we don't know anything about landscaping. ADP only knows how to handle the business of your small business. So if ADP focuses on the payroll and the HR, while you focus on the land and the scaping, success should follow. Just don't expect us to know all about Kentucky bluegrass, zero-turn cutting, or what to do with a woodchuck. That's for you to figure out. Let ADP help your small business focus on the part of the business you're good at. ADP for small business.
Did you know that 80% of New Year's resolutions fail by February?
And did you know there's a good chance it's just hormones? Hi, I'm Evan Bass, founder of the Columbus Men's Clinic, and I started this clinic a decade ago to take care of men. If your testosterone is low, then motivation, energy, and drive often follow too. And keeping resolutions can feel like walking through mud, and even more so as we age. ED and low T tend to get worse if untreated. And guys, you're not alone. Your physician-led support team at the Columbus Men's Clinic has your back. For years, we've effectively treated ED and low T comprehensively and with proven treatments dialed in just for you. With same-day booking, you can meet our passionate medical team, and by this afternoon, you'll leave with a plan that's designed to be sustainable for life. The number one thing we hear guys say is, I forgot how I used to feel. Guys, it's time to feel amazing and crush this new year. Call my team right now and let us treat you to an unforgettable experience. Dial 614-300-7400 or go to columbusmensclinic.com. That's columbusmensclinic.com.
Common Man and Timmy.
You haven't seen it. How can you say that it sucks?
Because if it was good, I would have seen it.
That's dumb. That's ridiculous. You're an idiot.
Common Man and Timmy Afternoons on the Fan is sponsored by the Hinderer Motor Company.
For the past 100 years, Shriners Children's has become family to over 1.5 million kids.
In tough times and good times, they're there when we need them most.
Please go online right now to loveshriners.org.
Hello, it's John Kozik, founder and president of TurboTrack Realty, and I buy houses as is fast for cash. Call me today for an all-cash offer on any of your properties, and we can close within days at 614-470-2000, 614-470-2000. Do you own a property that's outdated and needs thousands of dollars in repairs? Great, I'll buy it. Give us a call today for an all-cash offer at 614-470-2000, 614-470-2000. Would it be convenient for you if you could simply take what you wanted and leave the rest behind? Great, I'll buy it. I buy vacant properties, inherited homes, divorce situations, death in the family, apartment buildings, rental portfolios. I even buy my tenant won't pay me the rent houses. Call TurboTrack Realty today for an all-cash offer and speak with one of our friendly staff members at 614-470-2000, 614-470-2000.
Fan weather.
From the Logan AC and Heat Services Weather Center.
We are looking at a mix of clouds and sunshine here for your Friday, but still very cold temperatures with highs only in the mid to upper teens here for this afternoon. Winds out of the northeast at 5 to 10 miles per hour. And as we head into the weekend, we are still tracking a mix of clouds and sunshine, and temperatures staying into the teens to near 20 here as we head through your Saturday and Sunday. And that's a look at your 10 weather impact forecast. I'm meteorologist Aaron White here on 97.1 The Fan.
Bet365, the official online sports book of Rothman Ice. Whatever the moment, it's never ordinary at Bet365. The Fan, Ohio's sports destination.
Rothman and Ice present Under Pressure.
Sponsored by 3D Cabinetry. 3dcabinetry.net, where quality meets affordability.
All right, Ice. Who's going into the weekend with the heat, feeling the heat?
Okay. You want me to lead this thing off?
Use your honor, whatever you want.
I'm starting in the NBA because the trade deadline is approaching. We talked to Don Waddell about that earlier. NHL trade deadline, not too far out. You missed Big Don's interview. You can always catch up wherever you get your podcast. All you got to do is type in Rothman and Ice. Bet365 sponsors our podcast. I'm going up to Milwaukee, AR, and I'm throwing general manager of the Milwaukee Bucks, John Horst, on the pressure list because Giannis has made it official. Giannis Antetokounmpo has made it official. He's good on Milwaukee. I want out of here. Now, I think this is tricky because...
To rock a rhyme that's right on time?
There we go. When do you trade Giannis? Do you do it now or do you wait until the offseason? Because this is what's going to give you a chance to bounce back via a bunch of draft picks. Right now, talent. I think they can get a combination of both because Giannis is still a top 3, top 5 at worst player in the NBA. He is also injured. That's another hurdle in this as well. Giannis right now is dealing with a calf injury. He's dealt with this for a while now. But you're going to trade away, obviously, the face of the franchise. You accomplished some good things with him. You won the chip, had some other good years around that. But these are the tough, critical decisions that a general manager has to make when you have to trade a top 5 player in his prime because the return has to be top tier. So I'm going GM for the Bucks, John Horst. I'm putting him on the pressure list. He's going to be scrambling, I have to imagine, over the next week or two.
What about if you're a fantasy GM? How will you affect? Very similar, I would think, right?
Well, you told us that,
if you can get a top 10 to 15 player in value, then you have to consider dealing him to avoid the injury thing you talked about and the unknown trade destination. And I think the fantasy is real in this regard. I feel like this is part of how GMs think. I think this way in fantasy. I imagine in reality it works somewhat similar.
It does.
I agree.
It really does. And it's also, AR, the player that you mentioned or players that you mentioned, but the picks that you're getting too, right? And do you want to, have a dancing partner with the Warriors? Like, you trade and get some of their future first-round picks down the road. Those are really attractive because Steph and Draymond are already OGs, and so they're not going to be a good basketball team. And so it's just a lot of moving pieces for John Horst in a tricky time for the Bucks right now.
It's a good one. And if I was a fantasy manager on the other side, I'm not giving up a top 15 player. I'm giving you a top 25 player because guess what? I'm taking all the risk that Giannis could be injured the rest of the year.
I want the asset though, AR. I want Giannis. And so I hear what you're saying, but give me the asset, which is a top.
I'm putting it on Brooks Koepka.
He's back.
Back on the tour.
He's back.
Yeah, you miss the competitiveness, don't you? He had an opening round 73 at Torrey Pines. Brutal. I think he's going to have some nerves early. I think he can't afford to kind of mess around too long. And certainly all 5 of his majors have come from a couple of these tournaments early in the year on the courses that he's playing now. And then he's going to play Phoenix. He's won that event twice, I think. So as part of this returning member program, like the re-entry to the tour,
he's